before we start, I just need to note that this is our third time trying to record this.
Not to mention that we tried to record about a week ago.
Yep, and we tried 3 times.
And the same thing happened.
I try not to kill myself.
I want to kill my mom.
I want to kill my dad. Anyway,
Ugh.
welcome back to It's Hard Out Here, a podcast that allows you a sneak peek into the lives of two not mildly unhinged at this point. We are fully unhinged.
I ate a whole
individuals.
thing of hummus.
Yeah, just while we were trying to record this. We're in our 20s, and we are trying to navigate the complexities of the modern age. My name is Hayley, and I am joined by my bewitching, bedazzling, vivacious co-host, Miss Kerri.
Hello.
I'm filled with anxiety right now, but in this episode, we will be discussing...
Anxiety.
Well, yeah, partially. We'll be
yeah.
discussing how neurodivergence relates to interpersonal relationships. We're hoping to break down and better understand the impacts neurodivergence may have on forming romantic, platonic, and professional relationships. Just a quick disclaimer before we jump into this video. The term neurodivergence is used in this context to differentiate between those who are considered socially typical in their thought processes versus those who have been diagnosed with mental conditions. We're not going to be getting into the ethics or the philosophy behind the term neurodivergence. We will just be using it as a tool to navigate this conversation. So, to start us off, before I jump off a roof, would you like to break down our working definition of neurodivergence?
Neurodivergent is a non-medical term for when someone's brain processes learn or behave differently from what is considered typical. This may include mental disorders such as ASD, ADHD, dyslexia, bipolar, etc. It is thought that 15 to 20% of people in the population is neurodiverse. And we got this statistic from McAllister 2023.
So that is 1/3. No,
One in
not
five.
third.
1 in 5.
1 in 5 people.
A third of the planet is just neurodiverse.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because
That's
that
would
about
be-
people who are not
Yeah,
diagnosed.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
and
would-
like
yeah.
imagine our parents who would just like refuse to go see therapists. You know what I mean?
like how much of the older population would be neurodiverse?
Because mental health wasn't really a thing when they were.
No.
I'm speaking so fast because I'm anticipating the camera turning off again, but knock on wood, it looks like she might be playing ball.
I'm looking at the red button.
I'm waiting for her. Yeah. Okay.
If that happened, boom, head through the
I'm
table.
actually gonna run out onto the road behind us.
Yeah. A common misconception about people who are neurodivergent is that they cannot do
They cannot or
do not
Yeah.
want to form relationships.
In the same vein, though, some neurodivergent people genuinely prefer their own company, and I like we were discussing this before.
I speak on that from personal experience.
I would jump on that because
there's only so much socializing and so much talking to people I can do before it's like a switch. I'll be like great for a little bit and then you'll just see it like everything. I'm just sitting there.
Yeah, like sometimes
I'm just sitting there, and it kind of happens that there's obviously like catalysts that lead up to that. Like if I'm overstimulated, I've got really bad anxiety, and
it used to happen all the time when I was at work because I would go to work and then come home and then my mum would try and like socialize with me and I would just be like so fucking over it. I'd be like, leave me alone. I need to sit and do nothing and just stare at the ceiling for a bit because it's just too much.
Yeah. After like working 8.5 hours, like whenever somebody's like, let's go get dinner or something.
I'm like, absolutely.
Like, I'll be honest. There's times where you're like, let's do this, and I'm just like, girl, I am like, busy right now, and it's like I'm busy in the shower.
That's
just
what
like
I'm thinking.
there.
Like a lot of like neurotypical people often confuse free time with your like time that you're available. So like not all of the time that I'm available, I am not always available to hang out with someone. Because I need to
exactly
recoup. Like one social outing a day is generally enough for me.
One social outing a week. I am done.
No, I'm like I can do one a day.
Done.
But like
no,
that's like
no
my
way.
whole day. I can't do anything else.
No, there's days like getting out of bed today. I kind of fall into like it's a big like snowball. I will be like, oh, I really don't feel like going out.
Yeah.
And then I'll stay home. And the more I don't push myself to go out because like sometimes I genuinely need to. The more I don't push myself, the more I'm like going into that hole of just staying inside. And then when I finally come out, I'm like uncomfortable and I'm like, I need to go home.
And this is kind of a point that we're going to get into later. I'm wondering if like neurodivergent people, I wonder if they, like a lot of them like want to like us, just like have our alone time, because when we go out and socialize, we put so much energy into masking and appearing like neurotypical, that it just gets so exhausting. So I wonder if that like has anything to do with the whole socializing aspect as a neurodivergent person.
Yeah.
That could be something to think about. So
however, neurodivergent is misunderstood mainly in particular in women, which I find very interesting.
It's because there have been less studies.
And I also generally think because there's so many hormones like raging through a woman's body at such like odd times. But in saying that, male hormones make them act up.
I don't know about the whole hormone things, because
I think maybe we're better at masking it, and we're better at kind of going, get yourself together, like, whereas a man will just be like, oh. But then again, men are pretty good. Like, they're pretty good at, you sometimes don't know if there's something going on.
Yeah, but also I feel like society has been tailored to suit men, obviously, like the patriarchy, that it's easier for them to conform to norms than women.
But if we're talking mental illness, men...
Yeah, but all of that has been studied in men. It hasn't been studied in women as widely. Like, it's only been, like, in the last, I'd say 20 years that there have been studies on women in mental health. So literally the DSM-5, which is used to diagnose mental illness, those studies were based on male participants.
I just think it's weird that like it's always been like, even like back in the day, women would get lobotomies because they got hysteria.
It's because they weren't understood.
Yeah.
And it was tailored to male social norms.
But even like back in that day, males didn't have mental illnesses apparently. They were fucking fine. That's what I mean by, I reckon they're probably better at masking.
It was less...
No, women are better at masking because it's...
Yeah.
We're just trying not to get lobotomized these days.
I could go for a lobotomy. Speak for yourself.
Sometimes I just want to be like, come out of a hospital room and just be like
a vegetable. I feel like that could be
nice.
Not
to worry.
Like, someone just like care for me.
What do we even get lobotomies for in this day and age?
Severe mental illness. But usually they do ECT now, where they electrocute your brain. And that's still a very commonly...
Isn't that like
thing.
My auntie's got inhumane?
Yeah, it is. It's horrible.
Why is that a thing?
And when we had to study it in psych... Yeah, they put rods...
Yeah, and
electroconvulsive therapy.
Do they think it's going to like rewire?
Yeah, like it rewires your neurotransmitters apparently.
But
and like the studies, yes, okay, fine. They say it works, but... It's so barbaric, and I had to study it in psychology. And I'm like, this is disgusting.
I generally think it works because they're fucking like, they're mortified and they're like, no, I need to get my shit together.
It's also just like your basic reward punishment like thing. Anyway, my aunties had that. And
if it's a chemical, how are you going to rewire your brain? Like, a lot of mental illness is a chemical
because
imbalance.
there
like,
are parts
what the
of the
fuck?
brain that are in charge of like depression and dopamine and like whatever.
So you're saying those electrical currents
Meant to help you.
produce the chemical. So if they're rewired,
It helps strengthen certain parts of the
Okay.
brain, which then help
so
the
if it's
chemicals.
rewired, it's gonna increase.
Yeah, basically.
The dopamine
If
or
you
the whatever.
In basic
Okay.
terms, you could say that. But there's also this thing called
keep it
TMS.
basic.
So transcranial magnetic stimulation. And that's only a little, cranial means over the skull. So they don't have to put anything in your fucking skull. And they put like little things on top of your skull in a very small portion and they zap that part. And it's so much more humane. I'm like, why are we still doing ECT? Anyway, we're going a bit off track here.
Yeah, that was.
I had to rant because I'm like, why are we still doing that?
Yep.
And I don't know many.
I feel like this is your field. So
I don't know
that's
many
fair.
men who've had ECT, but that's just me personally. But yeah,
Yeah. I generally think the misunderstood in women is the fact that women act different in regards to these things.
It's like, oh, you're not behaving how I want you to, so you're gonna get a lobotomy. I'm like, do it.
Is that a threat? Get out of my misery. Is that a threat? I'll do it again. Neurodivergent experience the world through a hypersensitive nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use myself as an example because everyone's different. When I am overly anxious and I am overly sensitive to just everything around me, my social anxiety goes, and then the whole neurodivergent thing, I'll probably sit there and I'll start like fucking doing something and everyone's like, what is she doing?
Well, I mean, if we just
I'm
rewind,
just stimming, girl.
if we just rewind a couple of weeks, I feel like that relates to that where you were like already in like a hyper aroused state and then every little issue was just like so much bigger.
That was a very overstimulating weekend.
Yeah. And like every
we
sound.
We were overstimulated at brunch and you could tell. Like we were sitting there, everyone was talking and we were kind of just
God, that was probably
like,
the last time I was super overstimulated.
Yeah,
and
I was so tired.
I'm like so sensitive to smells. And then I got super, like I was already in like a hyper aroused state. I go into the bathroom, someone's taking a fat shit and I literally could not stop throwing up because I was already hyper aroused that I could not, and then for the next hour, I could not get that smell out of my nose and one of my friends had to go and buy me a lemonade. Like it was so bad. It was atrocious and that was my birthday weekend. Yeah. Are you good? Oh my god. I think she got me in the eye. Fuck.
When you tell me that story, I almost shitted my pants.
I told you like when it happened, didn't I?
No, not on the night. You told me like when...
I thought when we walked out, like I told you. I thought I told everyone.
Mm-mm.
Was I just like, I'll tell you later?
You didn't really say anything because you were so shitty.
Don't say that. But like literally. Oh my god. Yeah. It was honestly traumatic.
It just threw me off guard. I didn't realize you left for that. Like I knew you left for that long, but I didn't realize you're like
I was like throwing up in the bathroom.
hacking it up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, woo!
I'm still getting flashbacks. It was like
shitty
numb.
air. Shitty smelling air. That's wild.
I'm like, but yeah, I'm super hypersensitive to smell. Like that's one of my.
Give me some water, girl.
Like with smells and then sounds as well. When there are too many like layers of sounds, so like music and then screaming and then TV shows. Like when there's a big bunch of sound, like I'm like,
somebody shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Before
I get really irritable and I'm like, so yeah. So then, yeah, I guess, like, Are you okay?
Girl, I am. I can't recover.
When people.
It's almost as funny as the cat story.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, they both involve shit. I love poo stories.
I love when someone's like, guess what? I shitted my pants. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
It wasn't me who shat my pants. Somebody else shat themselves and then I threw up.
Okay.
Okay, back on track. So that's two examples of like when we're both hyper aroused, it then affects our social skills.
I think I need to shit after that one.
There's a
Okay,
bathroom
anyway,
right over there.
anyways, neurodivergents are labelled as a burden to society.
So this stereotype then perpetuates the idea that their conditions are purely negative. So it's like they're already behind on those social interactions because one party of that social interaction is going into it being like, oh, they're so high maintenance, like this is going to be so difficult.
They're so
like,
hard work.
Yeah. And the other person is just like trying to like, peace and love, like trying to form a friendship. I've had that happen to me many times. Yeah.
I feel like a burden when I go out sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there's just times where like I'm just not there. And
I felt like a burden on my birthday party.
It's like, happy birthday, bitch.
Birthday burden. So yeah.
Love that. I can't say any more about the birthday thing because...
Yeah, we don't want to open
I left early.
That didn't stop you from getting included in the drama.
Straight up, I was in on that drama, sitting at home. I'm like...
Yeah, it was a fucking wild night. Not even just night, like weekend. It was a wild weekend. Not even just the weekend. It was being brought up for weeks.
It's still going.
Yeah.
Not with me. But
Not with me either. I'm out.
It's going around the back.
Yeah.
They wouldn't dare to talk to me.
They didn't. They did not dare.
Good.
They shall not.
Because I
Thou
would be
shall
like,
not dare.
I would be like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And be like,
That's how you feel.
side eye. So also the majority of career advice you can find while scouring the internet: how to nail a job interview, how to be a better listener, how to have difficult conversations with your boss. It's not inclusive of neurodivergent people. More often than not, it puts the onus on the neurodivergent individuals to adapt and conform to neurotypical standards, which can be harmful and counterproductive to the community. This illustrates how neurodivergent adults are often expected to conform to neurotypical behaviors in social interactions. People who are neurodivergent are more likely to struggle with social cues, reading, writing, communication, coordination, motor skills, and learning. So when they are trying to assimilate to these neurotypical standards, it's really hard because they don't have those natural social cues and that base understanding to navigate those social situations like neurotypical people would.
Yeah. I found in regards to like the social scouring the internet, we found it quite difficult.
Yeah, there was not a lot of research
on how to. It was always, what is neurodivergent? What is neurodivergence? What are symptoms? What does it affect? It was never there's never coping mechanisms.
It was very victim blamey.
There was that one that was like, we the neurodivergent, and I'm like, oh,
I lie.
I was like, girl, she was going on a rant. It was like, poor her, but it was not useful for the research at all.
No. Yeah.
But there was nothing about coping mechanisms.
I'm just like,
there was, because I was going to put a section in about.
I saw one that said unmask. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen.
Unmask. I'll just quiver on the ground and die.
Okay, let me just stim on the dance floor. Just like me to all the flashing lights doing my tick, and I'm like,
I'd be like,
people would be like, guys, fucking open her up. Away from her.
That was like me at Ghost. I don't think I was dancing. I was stimming the whole time. I was just purely so
I was rocking back. It was a visceral,
I was so overstimulated because I was so excited.
Kerri was stimming, and then she'd turn around at me and was like, She went back to see me.
I was like, yeah. And Hayley's like, yeah. We're just in the mosh train.
And then like our two other friends that we were there with, we turned to them and they were like, yeah.
To be fair, there was not one brain cell between the four of us.
No, I don't think so. We were all just like about to pee ourselves with
I
excitement.
think I did pee.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of pre-pee.
I think a bit of pee went into my little sock. That I was, Yeah.
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 Anyway, Professor Jamie Coulter believes that neurodivergence itself is not the problem. Instead, it is society's unwillingness to provide more flexibility and offer appropriate accommodations that prevent people with disabilities from fully participating in society. Look, I don't love the word disability, but if we just even like zoom out from broader sense.
Yeah, disability.
I feel like that's very like not politically correct. But I agree with her that like why should we have to assimilate to the majority? Like why?
It's more the fact that why and also because we can't kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you physically like there are people that, you know, experience it more than others. Like
for me, dating is such an issue because like I will not understand. I'll have no clue whether someone likes me or not. Like literally no idea until they straight up say to my face, "I like you," and I'll be like taken aback. I'll be like, "Really?
Social cues?
Not there. Who are they?" Like right over my head.
Yeah, I do agree that social like society makes it. They don't make it worse per se, but they make it very, very hard for a neurodivergent person to go out.
Come to the party.
However, in saying that, there are just places like you don't take an autistic child that gets overstimulated by sound to the V8s because he's going to freak out. Do you know what I mean? So, like, there is
or you accommodate them with, like, earplugs and then headphones.
There is a balance.
Yeah.
There is generally a balance. Like, you wouldn't go to a nightclub if you are very unsettled with people touching you. Like, do you know what I mean?
At my party, because I was already, like, heightened, when we went to the club afterwards, I wore earphones in my ears because I'm like, I'm going to get overstimulated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, but people would be, like, looking at me and be like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm protecting my cochlea. So
I think it's a very, like...
People aren't very accepting.
People need to do better, and at the same time, there's just... It's a bit too hard. Yeah.
Like, and that's often why people just stay home.
That's where those coping mechanisms do come in, like, earphones, like...
Yeah, but it's hard to, like... A lot of people see these, like, ways of accommodating... like a person as just weird and they'll like stay away from them.
I know when I was younger and I was in a medical center with my parents. I think I don't even know how old I would have been.
Yeah.
Maybe like just a teenager maybe, where there was quite literally nothing to do with it. Like there was nothing, I knew nothing about it, all of that. Do you know what I mean? There was just nothing, no talk about all of this stuff. And I remember looking at this young girl in the medical center in the waiting room with like the industrial headphones, the noise cancelling ones. And I was like, what a weirdo, why is she wearing that? Like straight up, like I'm gonna be honest because I didn't know. Yeah. Like I didn't know. But yeah, that like if you were to wear earphones, it was 100% somebody in the club that was like, get a load of this reject. Yeah. That was me, uneducated, and now that I know exactly what they're for.
And I love how popular noise-cancelling headphones are. Just, like, I will be walking around train stations, shopping centres, and people will have, like, headphones on listening to their music, and I love how it's become more normalised. Yeah. I think that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. That is good. And the fact that, like... the noise cancelling headphones are actually a thing because they weren't. They were just like headphones like, before like where you would be listening to music, but you could actually still hear things. So I think it's good that they've incorporated both because as soon as you turn them on, the noise cancelling comes on.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to play music.
Exactly.
You don't even need to play music. So it's like very good.
Yeah.
Very good on that one.
So also the theory of the double empathy problem, a term coined by Damien Milton, a sociologist who specializes in autism research, suggests that people with different world experiences may have trouble empathizing with one another. This concept applies not only to neurodivergent groups, but also to other identifiers such as race, gender, and religion. So I feel like that kind of relates to what you were just saying. Like, you see a person with like Bunnings headphones on in a hospital and you're like, what the fuck is that?
I get overstimulated in a hospital because it's so white.
I just don't like the smell.
I freak out
in
like...
me with smell again. Like, fuck.
I freak out in like overly sterile places. I think that's why I don't like modern interior. Because it's just white and it's shiny and I'm
like Kim Kardashian's home.
Girl, that's so bland. Minimalist. I'm a minimalist in some aspects, but a maximalist.
Girl, you're a maximalist. I've been in your room. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to go in the next one?
Yeah.
This also comes back to the point we were talking about a little bit earlier, but you read it through and then we can break it down.
Smith, the founder and clinical director at the Center for Autism Assertiveness and Social Skills in Columbus, Ohio, advises counselors to take a direct approach when teaching neurodivergent clients to make friends by breaking down the steps involved in making friends.
So, look, this kind of comes back to what I was saying before. Like, yep, they're going to break it down for you into little, like, cookie bite-sized pieces. But I'm like, why should we have to put even more effort into making friends in a way that suits
we're already
society?
Struggling?
Yeah. When, like, why should we force people who operate differently to act in socially acceptable ways?
I know for a fact when I go out and I'm having like, when I'm anxious before I go out, I know that damn well I'm going to freak out as the night goes on. And even Logan like knows damn well I'll put on like 100 different outfits. Yeah. Nothing looks good. My body dysmorphia starts pumping through. I don't want to go no more kind of thing. And when I eventually get myself out of the building of my house, I'm not worried about how I'm going to talk to the lady.
No.
Like, I am more like, I don't even want to go anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I'm going out and I go into a group of people that I don't know and I'm already overstimulated and I've already had bad anxiety.
Like, there are just so many other things going on.
I'm not going to go, okay, my therapist told me to shake their hand, kiss their feet, lick their elbow, all of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to shut the fuck up and I'm going to come out as rude.
Yeah, and also, like, I'm just trying to, like, not have a panic attack. Like, you know, like, you're just like, I don't know if I feel good. I don't know if I look good. Like, I am freaking out. I'm having a panic attack. Let's not start shaking and convulsing on the dance floor. Let's not start crying. Try and breathe normally. I am not thinking, oh, I should smile. I should nod. I should try and say something. I should reflect what they say. No, I'm not thinking about that.
Look,
I'm in fight or flight, babe.
I am all for if somebody is in myself, I've had a shit day and shit sleep and I go to work, I'm tired, I'm already like in a shitty mood because I'm doing a close shift or something and I've had the morning to get pissed off.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that everybody, as in like patrons, staff, no way, always lovely this stuff because they're beautiful, the people I work with.
Except the guy who threw a chair.
Oh my God, who threw a chair?
Didn't you say someone threw a chair? Or you had to...
That was a patron threw a chair.
Yeah.
But as soon as a patron oversteps my mark when I'm already so bothered, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I really understand that you're upset. I'm going to be like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out if you don't like it.
Yeah.
That's. But as soon as a staff member, and I'm frustrated and angry, goes, Kerri, are you right? I'm just going to go, no, I'm actually not. I'm stressed out. I've had a shitty morning. I've lost my shoe on the way to work, some bullshit like that. And Why should
I
I
just envisioned you with like one shoe and one sock.
walking
Your
into the
holy
building
sock.
like
Yeah.
I was fucking mugged? That
like-
wouldn't surprise me.
Your like
where I
toes sticking out. Like
work. This one with the hole.
yeah.
Slay.
Yeah. You're just like walking out, big toe out. Like
It wouldn't surprise me where I am.
mm.
I wouldn't be surprised if my
It's a bit
shoes got
scary,
stolen right off my
yeah.
feet. Everything gets
Especially with the
stolen.
shoes that you wear. They're gonna steal those J's right off your bare feet.
I match my shoes depending on what my shift is like. Like tomorrow, I'm on admin. Might wear my Yeezys.
Mm.
No, I'm kidding. Never.
Not there.
Not there, girl.
No.
Anyways, just what we are. We're gonna go into some positives of neurodivergence in social settings, in the workplace, how they work, because like we have said before, they are not typical and do not
And they shouldn't have to
they do not speak like a
accommodate
typical person and act
social
like
standards.
a typical person.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go over some positives because
Mm-hmm.
I reckon they're very wholesome, and I relate to quite a few of them. I know for a fact I do.
Mm-hmm.
So a neurodivergent will typically have strong pattern recognition,
Mm-hmm.
strong analytical thinking,
Yeah.
deep focus or hyperfixation on something,
yeah.
and enhanced memory. With the
Definitely no from me.
memory, I know for a fact, I look at a picture or a diagram, I remember the whole diagram within the first look. And
My trauma response is to
can
forget it. Like, forget the whole situation. Like, no details, nothing
came
didn't
in
happen.
fucking handy during exams, let me
Yeah,
tell you,
nice.
because if say you drew a table, you know how you kind of remember the words and it's like positives, okay, this is this, negatives. I will remember the table
Yeah.
first, and then I'll remember the layout.
Yeah.
I'm a layout person.
I used to be really good with acronyms.
I always, fuck acronyms. I always remember the layouts, the diagrams, pictures.
Yeah.
Great with that. If you were to give me a menu or something, I would probably look at it and I'd go,
You can memorize it. You can, like, write it out again.
yeah, probably.
Slay.
Probably.
Slay.
So, pardon me.
Excuse
so,
me.
because everything is generally heightened with a neurodivergent person, their sensory awareness, aka smell, is heightened. The creativity is also very heightened.
Yeah, I'm definitely can vouch for that.
And visual processing skills are also what was that?
Visual processing skills are also very common.
Are also very common amongst the divergents. And look at the way
Divergence.
every time I was writing neurodivergent, I was like,
Like, throwback to, like, 2014, Divergent.
am I divergent? Am I Amity? I'm definitely Amity.
I don't know. I can't remember it. I didn't even remember. I just remember
Dauntless.
that being such a
I
huge
watched
thing.
Divergent not too long ago. I'm definitely the
Slay.
one where they are like farming crops.
Yeah. Which one am I?
Probably Divergent.
What does that mean? Am I like all of them?
Yeah, you're all of them.
Oh, slay. What's her name? Katniss? No, that's
That's not Katniss.
Beatrice?
Beatrice.
Beatrice, go.
There's Dauntless, Amity,
Oh, yeah.
Candor, which is honesty.
Definitely not me, girl.
Amity, which is kind.
Not me either.
Do I fit in the kind category? I fit in the crop.
Sometimes.
I fit in the crop.
Yeah, I think,
category.
yeah, that would
Like,
be
I'd
you.
farm.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
There'd be abnegation, which is smart.
Could be that one.
Could be that one. And then there's the other one, abnegation, which is selfless. You're definitely
No.
no. I reckon candor.
What's that?
Honest.
No, definitely not. Oh, although sometimes I'm too honest.
Yeah, that's fine.
But also,
they're all
I
like
would-
lawyers.
I feel like I'm also an adrenaline junkie. So I could be the one that's like,
I think you
Yeah.
could be divergent, girl. I think you could be a divergent.
I'd probably be like half dauntless, half honest. And a little bit of like selfless.
Just
Yeah.
a little bit. Just a wee
Yeah.
bit. Just a teeny tiny bit. What about the smart one? No?
No, yeah, and a lot of that. Yeah, big chunk of that in there. Yeah.
Fucker.
But definitely not the kind or the gentle or whatever the fuck.
good.
Yeah.
They live in barns.
No,
I'm
not
gonna
for
live in
me.
a barn.
No.
I want to live in a barn. I want to cuddle a goat. I want to have a pet cow.
I want to live in a castle in Chateau.
In Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neurodivergence in the workplace actually enhance diversity of thought because they have a different way of thinking. They
Yep.
have a different brain, which equals different thoughts.
Thank you for breaking that down. Yep.
I feel like that was sarcasm.
You just like broke that down. Like different thoughts mean they think differently. It's like I have the mind of a mastermind. Like
I was breaking it down for the people. Break it down.
for the people listening, we're crumping.
Or convulsing. What is it? ECT up in this bitch.
Oh my god. We're our little ECT caps.
Oh my god, Halloween?
No, you go as ECT, I'll go as lobotomy.
Slay.
I'll like put a little pickaxe on my head. Yeah.
A little thing in the eye.
Yeah. I reckon we can do that with prosthetics. Okay, where were we? Different brain, yes. This helps reduce stigma towards mental disorders and learning and thinking differences. Additionally, most high IQ people are neurodivergent in the widest sense.
Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Charles Darwin, Emma Watson, Elon Musk, Tim Burton.
When we were actually researching these,
No,
and
shut the fuck
Kez
up.
was researching these and writing these down, she was like, Charles Darwin, oh yeah, that's your grandpa. I'm like, what? What? And then she's like, oh wait, no, Joseph Banks. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know how you thought those two are the same. Like,
No.
I guess they're both
One-
white.
They both are old and dead.
Yeah. He's
Um,
also, Joseph Banks is not my grandpa. He's like my cousin 6 times removed.
He's in the ancestry tree.
He is? Yeah. You know who
Yeah.
isn't?
John
Yeah.
I was so certain. I was like, oh look, your grandfather. And
You're
I
like,
was like, wait a minute.
Did he come over on the first fleet? I don't
I
think
feel like
so.
Charles Darwin was before the first fleet. Was he after?
Charles Darwin.
But I feel like Charles Darwin was alive when there was no
I
people
thought
around.
it was after.
Why do I feel like he was...
1809, girl, that's after the first fleet.
It's late.
It was probably
Why do
in
I...
his
when
mummy's tummy.
when I picture Charles Darwin, I picture him roaming around with the dinosaurs.
I did
and
not
shit.
think he looked like that. Ew.
He's kind of a king.
He looks like a dust.
A dust.
Just like one. One dust.
Just a speck of dust.
Ooh. That's what you pictured him as.
Oh my god!
Yeah. That was before the people.
Oh no!
What the?
What is
Oh,
that?
because he
Evolution,
Yeah.
natural selection,
Yeah.
evolution. Come on, Charles Darwin.
I don't know what that is.
What the fuck is that? Oh my god.
okay,
Can
that's
we
enough of
go
that. Anyway.
away?
Social stigma and ignorance often exaggerate difficulties, making it that much more important to approach neurodiverse relationships with empathy, patience, and a willingness to learn and adapt. I'm sorry, like my brain short-circuited there.
Do you know what hasn't short-circuited?
Charles Darwin?
The camera.
Yeah, I know.
Slay!
It's this stupid...
Wait!
This...
I knew it. Did I not say it was the SD card?
After I went and changed it, you did.
No, I said it's the SD card.
Yeah, after I got it. You thought it was the actual camera.
No,
And I'm like,
said,
no, I think
I
it's
said
supposed
the
to be.
memory disc thing.
I think you might be gaslighting me. I don't want to blame you or I don't want to blame or anything, but I think you might be gaslighting me.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
Okay. We're gonna bleep that out.
Okay, beep.
We're gonna bleep that one out.
I'm She did not come to play, mama. Okay. Many people have disclosed that the strain of faking normality, like masking, often leads to depression, burnout, and even regression later down the track. So, in short, fuck all you neurotypicals.
Slay.
Did you have anything else to add?
No, not really. Hey, can you stop picking your skin off in front of me, girl?
I have lumpies. Yeah, so next week we might be talking, or not next week, because God knows the last time we recorded. Who knows if she will cooperate. My mummy's home. Excuse me. What was I saying? Oh yeah, next time we film, who knows when that will be. We're hoping to talk about relationships. And we're hoping to have another guest on.
Relationships with what? People?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, what do you think? Like, sheep.
I know, it's like...
Did you know that they, like, I've heard somewhere that they're, like, trying to make sheeple. Like, sheep people. Like, they're trying to make them.
Have you seen my hair? I'm basically almost there. Meh.
Okay.
Meh.
But, like, they're actually trying to breed humans with sheep. Maybe that's another episode. Anyway,
Sheeple. Sheeple.
in this episode...
We'll have a special guest.
Oh, yeah, next week.
I mean...
Jara is our special guest. Yeah, we're hoping to have a special guest next week.
Mm-hmm.
Not next week. I have to stop saying that because we're not going to, like, film next week. Well, we might, but, like,
we might.
Who knows?
Hayley's unemployed, so who knows?
Yeah. If anyone has a job for me, let me know. But
She'll get another job. Because she's smart. You know why? Because she's neurodivergent and her different brain is going to bring in different thoughts.
and different money.
And different money. Ooh, slate. That's a motto.
Yeah.
Different brain, different thoughts, different money.
Someone put
different.
that. Why is that giving Andrew Tate? We should watch some Andrew Tate now. Okay, we came to slay, we stayed to gay. And on that note, it's been
hard.